Welcome back to Game On. We're kicking things off with Colac Tigers football. They enjoyed a big 239-point win over North Shore, down at North Shore. There were some pretty big individual performances there, mate. What do you think of the game?
Yeah, pretty routine win, big win. I won't bore you with too much analysis this week. It was pretty straightforward, but yeah, some big numbers came out of Saturday. I'll kick off with Chase Murray. He was named best on ground. He had 25, 2 goals, 9 inside 50s, and 7 clearances. Wow. And then here's the big one, big Adam Garner. He started at half back, and I reckon he might have had a word to Army or said there to get him forward so he could kick a big bag, and he had 23 touches, 12 goals and 11 contested marks. Ben McCarthy, he couldn't stop finding the footy. He was superb as well. He had 39 touches, 1 goal, 12 clearances and 12 inside 50s. And the next one was Ryan Monahan. He also had a sneaky big day. Yep. He had 33 touches, 3 goals. And then the last one was Joff. Of course, he wasn't going to miss out on a few goals against North Shore, so he had 18 touches and 5 goals.
Unreal. Yeah, a couple of minor dampeners from the round, unfortunately, was Luke Hillman and Jack McCormack both came up with a couple of little niggles, it seemed afterwards. But talking to Jason Armistead, didn't sound as if they were going to miss any time. Have you heard anything?
No, I think it was just precautionary. Yep. They'll be all right. If it was a bigger game, bigger stage, maybe they would have come back out and played, but I think they'll both be okay. I think it was just a real handy percentage booster. Going in the back half of the year, sort of 3rd to 5th is pretty tight, so getting those extra points on the board always helps.
This week in the CDFNL was the Let's Talk Mental Health round. Each club played in a variant of their jersey with light blue to signify the round, with netballers wearing light blue coloured bibs over the top of their jerseys. Great initiative by the CDFNL. Yeah. The Imps have extended their winning streak, guys, to 8 in a row, defeating Alvey by 18 points. 4 points separated the teams at half-time. Alvey did manage to bring it back their way in the third, but a late third-quarter push from the Imps helped them in the fourth.
Yeah, and the Imps got kicked 2 late goals to get it back to 6 points heading into the three-quarter time, and then it was all Imps in the last quarter. They kicked 5 goals to 1. 5 goals to 1 to extend their winning streak to 8 games in a row. Bailey Scott, he moved. Ethan Schroeder, who's obviously played at full forward for Imps this season, down back to play on Dom Dare. I think he kicked 5 first half goals, so he was looking really dangerous for them, and Schroeder went back and did a pretty good job on him. Yeah,
another little positive for the Swans was mid-season recruits Callum Stevens and Glenn Strachan. They came in and made their debuts, and Glenn Strachan, he kicked 3 goals as well, which is a good day out.
Yeah.
South Colac had a bounce-back win over Birregurra by 26 points, making Brad Sergett a very happy man over the weekend, Jamie.
Yeah, they had a chance to jump into the competition's top 3 last week against Imps. Unfortunately, didn't manage to get there. But a good rebounding win against Birregurra, against a third-place Birregurra side as well. So it's further cementing their kind of position in the finals-bound teams, I suppose, of the competition. But the Roos they took a narrow 6-point lead going into the half. And then, coming out of that half-time, Brad Serkett was saying that they tried to slow down their ball movement, increase the pressure and intensity throughout the game, and what else, Luke?
Yeah, and obviously Saturday's win meant South Colac, they remain inside the top 5, and but Illawarra, Biak, they're right behind them. I think it's just percentage points separating them two, so it's going to be a really interesting end to the season for this year. An 11-goal haul from Lawn footballer Charlie McCartan sparked the Dolphins to a 158-point win over crosstown rivals Apollo Bay. The Dolphins booted 27 goals for the day, with McCartan, Patrick Bright, he booted 7, so they proved a handful up forward for the Hawks. And Apollo Bay captain Tristan Smith just said they didn't have anyone that could match up on McCartan. He was really dangerous down forward, and obviously he played another week. He played last week for the Dolphins. This is his second game for the club, with Geelong's VFL side having a bye this weekend.
Yeah, and looking at the Western Eagles versus Illawarra Biak game, the Western Eagles made the Bombers work hard for their 29-point win. They flew out of the blocks, kicking 3 goals to 2 in the first quarter, but the Bombers were able to wound it back and get the job done.
There you go, and Simpson have retained the Haysbury Shield, guys. 33-point win over Otway District. Simpson were on the go from the get-go, a little bit like in the Eagles game, I suppose. They booted 6-2 in the opening quarter. John Jennings and Nick Harding returned from hamstrings and looked lively up forward.
In CDFNL Netball, Simpson had cracked the competition's top 5 for the first time since round 3, following a thrilling 1-goal win over Otway Districts.
Yeah, neither team had a lead larger than 2 goals at any break in the game, and they were tied at 21 apiece at half-time. And Simpson got a turnover with about 30 seconds to go, and all they had to do was score to put themselves up.
Yeah, defensive efforts from wing defender Chloe Woodsford-Simpson helped her earn the Let's Talk Player of the Match.
Birregurra defeated South Colac 58-49, and what does that mean for the Roos boys?
Yeah, well, the Roos, they drop out of the top 5 of the comp, but Birregurra have secured a 6-point buffer from 5th place Simpson, who have also gone up a step in the ladder, after a hard-fought 9-goal victory over the Roos. Saints coach Saskia Rowan praised her team's strong hands, steady resets, which she thought were really crucial against an aggressive South Colac defence.
And yeah, as you mentioned, South have obviously dropped outside the top 5 as they've only won one of their past 4 games, so they're struggling a little bit, but I'm sure Kelsey Jeffries will be able to help turn that around, and they'll be still pushing for finals come the end of the season. Imps defeated Alvey by 15 goals. The Cats returned their round 2 loss at the hands of Alvey with a strong win on the weekend. Genevieve Erskine, she made her debut for the A-grade debut, for the Imps. Coming off the bench in the 4th quarter to play in wing attack. And Chloe, Imps coach Chloe Gray said that her side was a little slow to get going, but they really clicked into gear after half time.
Lorna defeated Polar Bay 70-23. League leading scorer Sade Stafford had 67 goals from a massive 78 shots, guys. They've moved up to 6th on the ladder, and they now 2 points separate the Dolphins and Tigers, with a massive fixture this weekend between Lorne and South Colac to help decide how the ladder goes.
Illawarra Beac looked to have made light work over the Western Eagles, but Coach Narelle Frith, she said that the Eagles made the Bombers work hard for the win. They had a 9-goal lead at half time, and then the Bombers had 23 more scoring shots than the Eagles, as Jeremy Robinson, she had her highest scoring output of the season with 41 goals.
To round 11 hot shots of the week. Starting off, we mentioned it before, Sade Stafford, 67 goals from 78 shots. Kiara Foster single-handedly outscored the Swans with 59 goals off 65 shots. And Tess Blake had 41 goals from 50 shots to round out the list. Now to the Diamond. The Colac Braves Division 2 side have lost their first game of the season, guys. Coming at the hands of the Deacon Blues in a 4-3 result. Scoreless through the first 6 innings for the Braves. Brendan DiLorenzo and Tom Fraser both had 2 hits, but Josh Hay had 2 RBIs and Brad Egan brought in the last.
And the Div 4 side, they got to work again, winning 14-6. The Braves scored a total of 29 runs against the Lara Wildcats across 2 fixtures. Darren Morrissey led Colac with 4 RBIs, while Josh Balcombe contributed a further 3. And then a good day on the mound for Daniel Billings. He struck out 8 Wildcats from just over 5 innings.
And moving on to soccer, the Rovers Division 1 side, they had a 3-0 loss to Deakin University. The Division 2 side had their first win of the season against Corio, 2-1, and they had Sangha Shrestha and Morgan Marlowe. They scored goals in... It was a 2-minute span, I think. They scored back-to-back goals to snatch that win. The Division 3 side had a bye, and the women's team, they unfortunately forfeited this week, so we'll check in with them for Wednesday's paper, and hopefully they can get a team up for next week. In exciting news for the Colac Swimming Club, they're hosting their first meet in 12 years this weekend. The official state of the club was close to folding last year, but this event's hoping to aim to rebuild it.
Yeah, COVID proved difficult for the club, there's no doubt about it. It currently has 46 members, and around half of those are swimmers, but compared to around 100 during some peak years, it's been a tough time.
Yeah, the meet on Saturday hopes to restore a competitive swimming scene in Colac, so we've got our fingers crossed that they can get back up and running and rolling.
Now, after having a look around the district at the sport over the weekend, guys, we're to our players of the week. I'll kick us off. I'm going to go with Daniel Billings, the Colac Braves Division 4 pitcher, striking out 8 Wildcat bats in just over 5 innings.
Yeah, mine's Charlie McCartan from Lorne, kicked 11 goals against Apollo Bay. He's kicked 17 goals in 2 matches, so he's in some pretty good form.
Yeah, I'm going to one-up. I'm going to go with Adam Garner. He kicked 12 against North Shore, and 23 disposals go alongside it. Yeah, the Colac coaches are going to have a tough time throwing him back behind the ball this week, if that's what they decide to do.
Thanks for watching Game On. We'll be back next week with all the sporting action.